All right, Rabbi say many of the Olam asked, let's get into the actual Haggadah. I want to write some notes. I want to say something. So here we go. First question. Who wrote the Haggadah? Amazing. You open it up like every sefer, you expect to find who's the author. You don't find one. It's amazing. So Reb Schwab Zatzal writes in his Haggadah that it's someone at the time of the Geonim, but we have no idea who it is. Reb Simcha ben Mepshischa writes down that the Bal Haggadah is Eliyahu Hanavi. So there are many different opinions of who that is, so we don't really know who that is. Yesh Oimim Eliyahu Hanavi. Question number 2. Why is there no bracha on Sipi Yetzias Mitzrayim? One of the mitzvah d'oraisas that we have, apart from, of course, eating matzah, is Sipi Yetzias Mitzrayim. It's a mitzvah d'oraisa. So therefore, why is there no bracha? Many Rishonim were busy with this question. And there are many given answers to this kasha. I want to tell you an unbelievable Sfas Emes. The Sfas Emes has a beautiful answer, B'derech Machshava, what's going on over here. And it goes with all the Rishonim. Doesn't argue with anyone. He says, in general, we don't make a bracha on any mitzvah that is ben adam lechaveiro. The Mekarva, that is, of course, a Tshuvas HaRashba, that any mitzvah that benefits a human being, we don't make a bracha. Classic example, tzedakah. Another example, kibbud avayim. Right? We don't do that. Why? Explains the Rambam that a mitzvah sichli, a logical mitzvah, something that we should have done anyway, even if the Torah didn't instruct us to do so, doesn't really require a bracha for that. Because we should have done it anyway. Giving tzedakah, honoring our parents, avada. It's a mitzvah that you would have done or should have done or should be doing, even if the Torah doesn't actually obligate you. Therefore, there's no mitzvah, there's no bracha for that mitzvah. Listen to the Sfas Emes. The Sfas Emes says, Sipi Yetzias Mitzrayim. True. It's not a mitzvah, ben adam lechaveri. It's ben adam lemakom. However, the yisoid is, it's a feeling of hakaras hatoif. It's hakaras hatoif for what the Rebbeinu Shalom did for us then and continues to do for us every single day. And therefore, it makes no sense, says the Sfas Emes, to say, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvoisa v'tzivanu, that you commanded us to have hakaras hatoif. Absolutely not. It's a mitzvah sichli. It's a logical thing. Everyone has to have hakaras hatoif. And therefore, that, says the Sfas Emes, is the reason why there is no bracha. One last thing, Rabbi say. We say there are 15 simonim of the Haggadah. And of course, we know we start with Kaddish and then Urchatz, and of course, Karpas and everything else. So it's interesting. The only time we find a Vov is between Kaddish and Urchatz. Those are the only times we find a Vov in between the 15 simonim of the Seder night, of the Haggadah. Even Moitzi Matzah, which is connected, doesn't have a Vav. One is the meaning for a Vav in between Kaddish, Urchatz, so to speak, putting them together, connecting them. So Rabbi Reisman Shlita brings down in his notes the following beautiful idea. He says, of course, Kaddish means to elevate, to mekadosh yourself, to make yourself holy. That's what it means. Urchatz means to wash yourself of all of the tumah that you have. Now, generally speaking, if you want to wash something, the first thing you need to do is rid it of the dirt. Then you could shine it. So really, the order should have been Rochatz, V'Kaddish, Ukaddish. It should have been Rochatz, Ukaddish. But our Seder is Kaddish and then Urchatz. Now, the logical the Seder should have been the other way around. First get rid of the garbage, and then you can make it holy. So the answer, says Rabbi Reisman, is as follows. People think that to reach levels of Kedusha, they first have to rid themselves from all of the things that are pulling them down, that are dragging them down. On Pesach, we say no. Just jump into the Kedusha. Even if you don't feel worthy, even if you don't feel that you're on the level, even if you don't feel that you're connecting. The Yetzer Hara is schlepping you down, and you've just got no connection to this. You know what? Kaddish. Just jump into the Kedusha. Because that's what happened on Pesach. Klal Yisrael that was still on the lowest level, Kemat, of the Shari Tumah in Mitzrayim. What do? They jumped into the Kedusha. That's what happened. You have to remember there was no tshuva movement going on in Mitzrayim. There was nothing to help them and cleanse them of everything of that. They had garbage with them. But they jumped into the Kedusha. So too, on Pesach, we get to copy our forefathers. Jump into the Kedusha. Jump into Leil HaSeder. You don't feel it? Too bad. You think you're too low? You're not. Because there's so much to gain. And after you jump into the Kedusha, you have Urchatz connected. You can then cleanse yourself from everything else. Have a wonderful day.